Okay, so everybody get their homework done?
Think so.
Yeah.
And plus more.
All right. Well,
I just heard, which was like crazy.
yeah. So I only saw one thing recently, and we'll touch on that because I don't know how true it is. But I heard there's been a couple changes to The Witcher.
Oh no! I haven't heard about that.
No, yeah.
I haven't really touched The Witcher yet.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't play the games. I didn't read the book, but I was enjoying the show. So.
Yeah, now it's Liam instead of.
I don't think.
Yeah.
From what it looked like from the article I saw, that I didn't read the full thing, but just skimming, looks like it may not be, because it may not happen.
What's that with Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah, like they may have canceled The Witcher.
Hey,
You figure everything's getting canceled, including us at some point or another. Which, let me start everything off with welcome everyone once again to the Dragoon's Lair podcast. I am the Blue Dragoon himself, Daniel the Dragon, and with me once again, as per usual, King Hamster Pellet himself, Mike Schiavo, and the family man himself, James Haynes.
hello everybody.
So now, Doug gave me the idea, so I gave you guys both separate wrestling assignments.
Absolutely.
So we'll start off with a little wrestling talk, and then we'll move into like some news on other stuff. I'm gonna talk about a bunch of anime related things, similar vein of what I gave you guys to do, but it's on me for that one. So, Mike, you want to start off with the wonderful world of AEW?
All right, well.
And we're going to do this in about 5 minutes, so let me get the clock ready. I got the stopwatch ready, so ready? And go.
Okay, so this past Sunday was AEW Dynasty, their latest pay-per-view. All in all, it was a very good card. They had 8 matches on there, starting off with the AEW Continental Championship match. We had Okada, who's the champion, versus Pac. Right off the bat, people are going to be flying all around the arena, which pretty much happened. Okada retained his championship. It was a whole bunch of holy shit spots because neither one of these men like to remain on the mat. They fly all over the building. So Okada wins. I mean, it was a very, very, very good match. The second one was the trios match. It was Adam Copeland, Mark Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston versus the House of Black. Anytime Kingston is in the ring, it is pure comedy gold because he, like the facial expressions that Kingston has, it's like he doesn't give a shit at times. And yeah, and Mark Briscoe is just a lunatic. and then there's Adam Copeland trying to keep everybody together, and it's like the Three Stooges. And House of Black goes over, but again, another very, very, very entertaining match. Third match was for the TBS Championship. We had Julia Hart, the champion, versus Willow Nightingale. Now, when you look at these two, you were thinking, okay, squash match, because Julia Hart is the younger, more fit competitor. Not the case. These two women put on a hell of a match. Willow ended up becoming the new champ, which sets up Double or Nothing, because as soon as Willow won, they're in the ring. It's Willow, Chris Statlander came down with Stokely Hathaway, and they're all celebrating. And then Mercedes Moné, FKA Sasha Banks, came in, and Sasha and Willow had beef from her time in New Japan, where it was actually Willow who supposedly caused the injury to Mercedes, breaking her ankle, costing her a year of her career. So that sets up heat there. So now at Double or Nothing, it's going to be Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. Match number 4, we had the Intercontinental Championship, Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. Two men who knew each other from the Ring of Honor days. Both have similar fighting styles. Wasn't too many holy shit moments in this one. Roderick Strong won without the interference of the Undisputed Kingdom, which I thought was a good deal because I hate interfering when there's a championship match. it just, in my opinion, cheapens it. But Roderick Strong ends up going over, and he retains the title. The fifth match was the FTW Championship match. Hook versus the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. At this point in Chris's career, he doesn't really need more titles. He can put new talent over without getting the belt. This was at times this was a very entertaining match, but again at times it was like, okay, let's get going, Chris. Jericho ends up winning the FTW title, and yeah, so the sixth match was the women's championship match. We had the champion Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa actually was the last women's champion. She had to relinquish it because of an injury, so she never technically lost it. She had to relinquish it. Good match. I am sick and tired of this timeless Toni Storm character. I wish they retire it and do something else. It's just stupid beyond belief. As expected, a very good match. Again, Toni Storm goes over. The seventh match was the tag team championship ladder match with the Young Bucks versus FTR. This was for the belts because the last tag champions was Sting and Darby Allin, and since Sting retired and Darby Allin trying to climb Mount Everest with a broken leg, had to vanquish the titles. So it was, it was a very good match. Again, what happened at the end of this match, Young Bucks end up going over with the help of a masked intruder. I believe Cash Wheeler was on the ladder, just about ready to grab the belts when somebody in a mask and a hoodie jumps the barricade, runs into the ring, costs FTR the match. Turned out to be Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He's back. And the last one is the World Championship match. Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe, the champion. Swerve goes over in a match that was amazing. AEW did in one night what took WWE 2 nights to do in WrestleMania. So I'm giving this one to AEW.
All right, and that was about 5 minutes and 42 seconds, so we're getting close to 6 minutes. I guess we like the number 6 here, so we're probably going to go for, shooting for 6. So, Jimmy, how about the world of WWE? And hang on one second, and let's get this timer reset. Ready? And go.
Your Raw and NXT reports, sponsored by Dragoon's Lair Podcast. That's Dragoon's Lair with 2 O's podcast. On Raw this week, Damian Priest came out to encounter with Jey Uso. They went back and forth. JD McDonough decided to come in the ring. All of a sudden, next thing you know, Jey Uso super kicks Damian Priest. Awesome Truth defeated DIY in a tag team match, going over very well. At the end of the match, DIY lost, but Tommaso Ciampa did not want to show a little respect with shaking the hands. Gunther is back, and he's qualifying himself for the King of the Ring. He started a challenge with the New Day because, as everybody knows, they hold the King of the Ring right now. New Day defeated Imperium. After that match, Ludwig Kaiser took out, what's his name?
Giovanni Vinci.
Yes, he took out Giovanni Vinci, and Gunther's in the back in the Gorilla, which they are now, thank you, goodbye, Kevin Dunn, showing more of the Gorilla, and you see Gunther very, very happy. In the ring, as always, sitting in the CM Punk mode, you have Drew McIntyre in qualifying himself also for the King of the Ring. And then Sheamus comes out and goes, yep, listen, 2 of us have been going banging, 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 banging. And then Drew's like, listen, you want to talk about banging, banging, banging? What about all the burgers that you've been eating while you were off for a year? He ended up defeating Nakamura with McIntyre on the outside. Then you have the Ricochet Andrade defeating JD and Santos Escobar because Dom had a pity injury. well, he might be out for a while anyway, we've also heard. But then the whole Damian Priest and Finn Balor decided to come out afterwards and show Andrade and Ricochet that they're still the top of the mountain. Now we have the vacated women's title, thanks to Mommy getting hurt, to Liv Morgan, who everybody thought would be a front runner for this. Instead, the final three was Nia, Becky, and Liv, with a amazing holdover by all three, and even Chelsea Green, who decided to, oops, I'm getting eliminated by Natalya. Oop, no one saw me. I'm going to sit on the match. I'm going to sit on the ledge. And next thing you know, Becky wins. Okay, good match on All That Battle Royale. Everybody held their own. Next, we are going to turn to NXT, which Trick wins the title. Congratulations, Trick, defeating Ilya Dragunov, who should be moving up to the rosters this week with the draft going on. Roxanne Perez defeated Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley in a crucifix roll-up. You had also going on a Jada Parker defeating Fallon Henley as she's losing her hair in the back of the victory. Then she starts throwing it at everybody else. Sol Roker defeated Blair Davenport with the Beach Brawl match, which was Sol Roker's favorite match of them all, because she could use anything and everything from the outside, which is beach material. Lexis King using an illegal kick to the groin against Baron Corbin, got the roll-up victory. That they're a little Tasmaniac there.
You sounded a little more like Michael Cole.
Yeah. Trick Williams, Ilya Dragunov, 5-star match there. I'll tell you, amazing. I saw the highlights even of that, and with everybody in the crowd going, this is awesome, and whooped that Trick all over the ring. He showed everybody he will have the title, and with that going on also, just to let everybody know, the whole Inductees, that's all three of them, Zion Lee and Cameron Grimes, have been released by the WWE. We wish them all fond farewell. And also this week, it seems that the FCC, with this 90-day contract that everybody has, it might be starting to be null and void with all the federations. So basically, you can go like Rick Rude used to do, go from WCW, ECW, WWE, all in a week's period. This has been your Raw NXT report.
And you got that in with 1 second left to spare in under 5 minutes.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. So I will say, Mike, made it sound like AEW is something I probably should be watching. Too much stuff going on.
It's I don't know. In my opinion, AEW is better because they don't spend an hour and a half talking in the ring and have a 2-second match and then have another hour and a half talking. You don't need...
my main question that I have to ask, because I don't watch AEW, do they show when people arrive to the fucking arena? Thank you.
No.
Maybe once in a blue moon. Like, they do it sometimes when they had the best friends, Trent and Chuck Taylor, because that's part of the gimmick where they show up and Trent's mom drops them off. Trent's mom dropped him off in a minivan. So that's part of the gimmick. But,
all right.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, because now WWE is annoying the hell out of me with, we got to show everyone arriving to the arena. I get it. They're trying to fill time, but...
You don't need a 3-hour show.
No.
2 hours is perfect.
Even on a 2-hour show, you're still showing people arriving to the arena.
Yeah.
And the catch-up videos are well produced, but I don't need to see them getting to the arena.
No, there's no real catch-up videos.
Yeah.
My opinion, AEW just puts on a better project, puts on a better performance.
Yeah. They're still not drawing the same crowds.
Well, no, because how long has WWE been around?
Long
exactly.
Time, when the territories were around.
You look at WWE, all the wrestlers that are in AEW now were always fans of WWE.
Yep.
So eventually, yes, you will see people go from AEW to WWE because they're fans. They want the WrestleMania moment. They want that. But at the same time, you have the homegrown people that AEW brings up, and they're putting on a hell of a show, and AEW recognizes other promotions. They'll recognize Ring of Honor even before they bought it. They'll recognize TNA. They'll recognize New Japan. Okay, they'll say, okay, Moxley is the New Japan heavyweight champion. So they'll let their wrestlers go into promotion, where it's WWE is nothing outside WWE exists. It's Raw, SmackDown, NXT. That's it. You did nothing beforehand.
Except for the Royal Rumble, where they had, what was it, Ring of Honor? Or was it TNA people came in? TNA? Yeah. So they're at least acknowledging that.
Yeah.
For now, but again.
So wrestling fans, we will do this more often. And next time, Jimmy will definitely have to address the draft, which starts for Friday Night SmackDown, and then we'll proceed on to Monday Night Raw. Now, I want to
just to even get in,
right.
just to clear up what Mike before your 5
Go ahead.
minutes of anime, which I'm looking forward to hear.
Yeah.
Ospreay gave a 5-star match
Against Danielson.
and the Bang Bang Club
Bang Bang
defeated
to the game.
on YouTube. And I'll tell you this, not for nothing, but they'll get a good crowd during YouTube and everything. And Forbidden Door is going to be at the UBS Arena. Tickets are going on sale this week.
All right.
So that's not too bad.
Yeah, so we got plenty of stuff to look forward to if you're a wrestling fan. Now, if you're an anime fan, the spring 2024 anime block just started. So we've got plenty to look forward to, but there's stuff that's coming out starting in May. For some reason, there's a few things that are running a little late. So in May, you're going to be able to start watching the Hashira training arc for Demon Slayer. And My Hero Academia will start their 7th season, even though they have a little side one going on right now of My Hero Academia Missions, which seems to be some side stories. Kaiju number 8 started, which is an amazing story. The animation's great, seeing a guy who wants to be part of the Kaiju Defense Force actually being possessed by a kaiju.
That's like the Pacific Rim stuff. Guys.
Yeah, the giant monsters kind of think Godzilla, but it's going to be the guy is a smaller one taking on a lot of giant ones. So he's going into the training facility for that one, which is amazing. And we have anime that have been locked behind the, how do I put this gently, the Disney paywall of we don't advertise our anime at all, because for some reason they don't. And one of them that has come out that it needs to be watched is actually Go-Go Loser Ranger. It is a kind of Power Rangers wannabe, but it's basically where you're following the immortal like little minions for the like giant evil bad guys. They basically got wiped out, and the Rangers wiped them out, but to keep themselves relevant, they're basically holding hostage all of the villains and make them fight in a weekly battle show for them to kind of keep their popularity going. So the Rangers are actually kind of dicks. And so you have, within the first few episodes, you have one of the monsters, letter D, because they're actually lettered. And he is on a hunt to get an ancient relic that wiped out his bosses to try to combat against the Rangers, because the monsters are pretty weak. And they also, this past week, we just had over the weekend, was the Spy Family movie that came to theaters. I dropped a little TikTok about that, but it was a good movie overall. But there's one thing we're going to talk about after I get out of the anime section, but I highly recommend, if you can see this in theaters, see it. The dub and the sub versions are both available in select theaters, so check your local listings and check those out before it leaves the theaters. This is going to be one you're not going to want to miss, because the next one that'll probably hit the theaters is, I know a big one is going to more than likely be the My Hero Academia movie number 4. And I'm going to wrap that one up. So that was a little shorter, but, I talk pretty fast.
That's it.
And also, I wasn't reading off anything. That was off the cuff, so I was probably going to be quicker. But that's also because I like the sound of my own voice a little bit too much.
No, somebody has to.
Cool.
Dick. No, so now I got to ask you guys, because when I went to the theater to see the Spy Family movie, it said it started at 2:00. And I walk into the theater, I got my tickets all 10 minutes before the movie was going to start.
Where'd you go?
I went to the AMC.
Okay.
So I go to the AMC, make sure use the bathroom before you go get your seat. I'm walking into the theater. It's not 2 o'clock yet. I'm thinking I'm hitting trailers and some commercials. Nope. Movie's already started.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Has this happened before, or is it usually the normal of it runs a little past and you've got time?
I've never, unless I showed up late to a film, but if, usually with AMC, they say it starts at 2. You can figure trailers start at 2 o'clock. It'll start like 5-10 after, but no, I never. How far into the movie was it?
It was at least like a minute or two, so it wasn't terrible, but it was like 58, and it was already going.
Yeah. No, first I've heard of it.
See, with Alamo, they have like all the stock footage.
Yeah.
And they'll show from around the world and all old commercials.
It seems.
It seems. 2 o'clock, they'll show the movie in trailers.
It seems like it's going into the Wild West ever since the Regal on the island shut down.
Well, remember, there's still one Regal.
Yeah, there's still one Regal, but the one that was around for the longer time.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. And then I'm not driving to the other side of the island to have to get there. That's just a little too much. Now, we do have something to talk about, which was the Deadpool-Wolverine trailer that dropped. So, Mike, what were your initial impressions?
I liked it. I watched it a bunch of times.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that it's not the Wolverine that we know, because you heard the guy from the Time Variant Authority say, this Wolverine lost, he let everybody die, and so he's trying to drink to forget or just stay in a constant state of drunkenness, and he doesn't want to be the hero.
Yeah,
and then when
it's pre-Logan,
it's
pre-Logan. The Wolverine origins.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that he's kind of like reluctant to come back into and put on the costume and be the hero.
Yeah.
But eventually, he's going to team up with him. I did think it was cool at one point, because I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times just to make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. It's kind of like a blink and you miss it. You see that it looked like a robot, and then the helmet started to come off, and you see like a skull underneath. That was Ant-Man.
Yep.
So kind of interesting to see what's going on with that. All in all, a little upset that I have to wait until July to see this damn thing. Usually it came out in May, but what are you going to do?
Hey, listen, at least the good thing is it was pushed forward because they pushed back Captain America 4. So Ryan Reynolds was smart enough to jump that grave and take the earlier spot. So we may not be getting a ton of Marvel movies this year.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which everybody wanted a little bit of a break.
Yes.
We needed a breather for every year. What was it, 2 to 3 each year?
Yeah.
So
it was good at the time because they had a plan. They told an overall story, and each individual movie connected to the story, which was fine. Now you let everything just kind of die down a little bit. You keep it low key. You do the what if cartoons. You do the Disney Plus shows. You just kind of keep everything under the radar. You don't flood the market, and then when you're ready to ramp it up, that's when you, at the end of the Disney shows, that's when you start teasing the bigger films, and then that's when you get back into it.
Yeah, now I didn't think Phase 4 was that bad. It was just disjointed.
Yes.
Because of the fact that we just went off of the roller coaster, that we hit the high point for Infinity War and Endgame, and then it was like coming off of Spider-Man.
Phase 4 wasn't horrible. It wasn't phases 1, 2, or 3.
Well, which is what it kind of should have been over again.
It should have been what Disney should have done. Okay, we just told this amazing story. No one wants to sit around. Everybody's going to expect that. No one wants to sit around 2 hours plus in a theater to start all over again. Put it on Disney Plus. Break it up into a series.
Well, the thing was, when you think about it, they did have some successes and they had failures as well. They want to say that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was a failure.
It was a fun film.
It was a fun movie. It wasn't a failure.
No.
It just was coming out at the wrong time. But not only was it coming out at the wrong time, it also had the problematic nature of having your villain in the movie be someone going through a court case at that time. Mm-hmm. So it was like, ooh, we've touched on that plenty. But the movie itself was a fun ride.
Right. It was a bad film.
Eternals wasn't a bad movie. It was just too disjointed.
I tried to sit through the Eternals. I couldn't do it.
Well, because
that was the only one I said nope.
Because the problem was when it came down to Eternals. Yeah, I can't even remember the title. That should tell you something. But it was more one of these situations where we're kind of sitting there and we're getting a bunch of characters either no one has heard of, or it's like you're trying to do a new Guardians and not succeeding.
Right.
And you set it up for something that I think they canceled or it's been stalled for Eternals too.
Yeah. That's canceled. Captain Marvel 3 is canceled, and Ant-Man Wasp 4 all scrapped.
Which is a problem for me because they set up something that could be really cool in Eternals at the very end.
Yeah, with Harry Styles, because that's Thanos' brother.
But they also went and they set up a whole bunch of other stuff. And the thing is...
And Blade.
Yeah, but then you take, like, the Marvels. Mm-hmm. There should not have been a reason to cancel the Marvels because they set it up where it's like you had the X-Men. So you had the multiversal stuff being right there. So unless it's going to play into Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine, it doesn't make any sense.
Not only that, you also set up the Young Avengers with Miss Marvel going after...
Which she's still technically there, but it's like now you had her meeting up with Kate Bishop.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you're kind of killing me here. You set up some good stuff, and now I'm going to feel like it's Masters of the Universe, Frank Langella's head popping up.
I'll be back.
And never getting
It's
anything.
like, yeah, even like I say, with Inner Space, it's like, to be continued. Okay, fine. Where is it?
Inner Space had a to be continued?
Basically, if you look at the end, that was basically to be continued.
Oh, yeah, because they had
the midgets in the car.
The two midgets in the car.
During the honeymoon.
Yeah, they had them in the luggage.
And Martin Short goes after him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, now, Jimmy, what was your impressions of the Deadpool-Wolverine trailer?
I can't stop laughing over that. That is hysterical. I am looking forward to this movie because I want to see besides seeing Ant-Man's head, the distorted, destroyed 20th Century Fox set.
Yeah.
Which everybody keeps forgetting.
Well, it's more the logo.
The logo. Which is basically telling everybody, hi, we're the Marvel Universe. We're destroying the Fox universe.
Well, that's why it kind of seems like this movie is Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. Like the Fox version.
But I still can't stop laughing at the end with him and Leslie Uggams talking about, we're not supposed to talk about the cocaine and every form of it.
See, now that was great.
Yes.
Which I kind of want to roll that one right in because you kind of set it up with Leslie Uggams being there and then being in Fallout.
Yeah.
So now I've watched the whole thing, but I told you guys we're going to discuss up to episode 4. So now there's a reason why I said up to episode 4, because episode 4, there's a moment in there where I don't know if you caught it or not, Mike. You should have been able to spot Staten Island clear as day.
Without a doubt.
The ShopRite.
The ShopRite Center. As soon as that popped up, I was like, I couldn't remember if it was going to be in Fallout or if it was going to be in Twisted Metal.
Yeah, no, it was.
I knew it was going to be in one of those two. I couldn't remember which. But as soon as I saw, I was like,
Twisted Metal. I was thinking the other one with Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah, that. There's a movie coming out with him as like post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the game. I think another one that's based off of a game.
Yeah.
What is that? Not League of Legends. They're really trying to capitalize on the video game market, which making video games into shows and movies
if it's done right, it's fine.
But for the most part, it has not been done right.
Resident Evil.
Actually,
Resident Evil were good films. They were enjoyable films that had absolutely nothing to do other than the name with the video game.
However, there are the animated ones that came out that were all CGI,
which were fine. Those were fun.
And there was the last one, Raccoon City.
That was the only one that was that you can pick up.
It went right in. It was pretty much from the game. Right. But I got to give them credit, whereas starting off from a video game, and not following the main story, but keeping like the setting.
Right.
They did a great job with it. I thought the one that is underrated that did better was Silent Hill.
Didn't see it.
If you go, there's only 2 Silent Hill movies, and the first one,
Isn't Kane in that one?
no.
No.
Which?
That's something else.
You're thinking See No Evil
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
and See No Evil too. But no, it's when you go and you look at the only thing they really changed was it was the father. It's like the father looking for his daughter rather than the mother looking for the daughter.
Okay.
So, but it was a great movie, great take. They there's a lot of weird elements to like Silent Hill. But they did a great job. Yeah. Yeah. See, I know.
Borderlands.
Yeah. Like I said, I think they did a great job with the Halo series so far. I know people aren't happy about it, but at the same time, you can't make a movie where the main character is a POV, where it's like even if you're seeing third person, the guy never takes his helmet off. How are you doing this as a movie?
Right.
It's like, or a show. That's why Doom ended up needing to be something else, but it had that one moment in there.
Doing that, and then when he sees his shadow and he reflection and he shoots himself, because he did it all the time in a video game. You see, you shoot yourself.
But that's the thing, and it's like Super Mario Brothers started off where, hey, we tried, we did a bad job with it, even though it was a fun ride as a kid. It was not a good movie.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't a good film.
Yeah, which
Then John Leguizamo was pissed off because they hired an Italian to play an Italian character.
well, let's be honest here. He was playing Luigi in the original, and yeah, it was ridiculous to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Your name was he was Mario and Luigi Mario.
Yeah. And then he gets pissed off. No, you can't.
At least the animated movie, whether you like Chris Pratt or not, the animated Super Mario Brothers movie
so much better.
was a lot of fun.
With a game like Mario Brothers, because there's so much going on, the only way to make it work is to make it animated.
Yeah. I mean, Fallout so far has done a great job, even though I don't think any of us have played the games.
No.
So now, Jimmy, why don't you take us through a run through of what's been going on since after the first episode? Because when we left off, Lucy had just left the vault.
Yep.
Lucy left the vault. We see her brother trying to investigate what the heck is going on inside the vault.
Yep.
We see Maximus puts on the suit because the knight that he is the squire to is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And of
he
course,
treated him like shit.
And look at who it was, though, who was in the knight's armor. Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just like Michael Rappaport, just for that little bit, made me laugh, especially when he hands over the crotch plate.
Clean that.
Clean this. It was one of those moments where you're just like, it's Michael Rappaport in there. Walter Goggins, though, running around as the ghoul.
He's going back. You see him going back and forth, flashback. It's amazing to catch up how everything all
is tying together. So you wanted to see if we were going to get a backstory for these characters. And
we got a little bit of the backstory, at least for the ghoul cat. Well,
it's still going.
It's still. I want to see how he became the ghoul.
Yeah, which they're going to drag that out for a while, but at the same time,
like you see them, he has to have that liquid to keep him from going full zombie.
Yeah, which I know you were very hesitant.
I was hesitant. I've made it through the first 4, and now like the first one I thought was very slow moving.
Okay.
Which, it's an origin show. It's going to be slow moving. Okay, fine. You establish character, you establish the pecking order. Fine. The second one, the third one jumps right in. I'm like, okay, cool. Fourth one again picks up. I'm like, I can get into this. I like the fact in the third episode how you had all 4 characters together.
Yeah.
But they were all together. Going from one to the other, because, sometimes...
Looking for the head.
All looking for the head.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it works. Other times you get so wrapped up in following one character, whether it's Maximus or Lucy or the ghoul, you get so wrapped up in that moment, and then all of a sudden they switch, and, you're back 10, 20 paces, and you're like, no, let's go back to the other one.
Yeah.
I think right now they have a good balance.
Yeah, I like the distractions
I like
of
the distraction.
switching back.
I have absolutely nothing to compare it to because I have not played the game. But
Because we're all taking this though from an outsider's
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah.
Because if we were going to learn anything about it, we're probably watching like a YouTube of someone explaining.
But it got my interest. I'll give it one season. I'll finish the season. And how many episodes are in it?
8.
Okay, fine. So we're halfway through. Hopefully, Amazon won't say, "Oh, this is great. People like it."
It's already been picked up for a
It's
season.
good. But actually getting it out is different.
I think they're actually gonna invest in this because they've done a pretty good job of not just promoting it, but also because
Have they promoted it though? I haven't seen anything for it.
Oh.
You didn't tell me about it.
well, that was the thing because a lot of it was more for the fans. But there's a commercial within one of the episodes that has a phone number. You can call and you can text that number to get your own vault.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a video of who was it? Trying to remember a YouTuber and like entertainer Jackie Jing. She went and she called the number, and you hear screaming. Like the end of the world is happening. Everyone's like you're trying to get the vault. But if you text the number, you get a message back like for a certain number of time, like how long the wait is. So I think that might be giving us like, it's going to be later this year of like more of an update on what's going to happen. Because I mean, Amazon's been putting a lot of work into a lot of their stuff. And I mean, let's face it, Invincible, The Boys, they've been big hits. And I think this is one where they're competing for the video game market of getting the fans of the games. And some people aren't going to like it because things deviate from what it is, but this is supposedly set further on in the timeline past Fallout New Vegas.
Okay.
So, which, if that's the case and it's further down, then okay, you can do an original separate story. And from my understanding, all the vaults are crazy.
Yeah.
There are some of the vaults where there's one vault, I think, that where they said there's like 99 men and like one woman in the vault. Then there's another vault where it's kind of the opposite. And then there's another one where there's like a bunch of people and a panther.
No.
So these vaults are crazy. So if this is true, and I wonder if we'll see other vaults. But I've saw this for the entirety of the season.
Me too.
So you didn't want to stop, right?
I wanted to keep going, and I finally finished it on Sunday.
Yeah, I know Mike's got a lot of stuff that he's up to and doing, so I know it's harder for you to keep track. I have a little bit of a more time to invest in watching because I just find the time because
Between the reality shows I'm watching with her, my wife, and watching this.
Yeah, I don't do the reality shows.
And The Masked Singer and all that.
Yeah.
So
The only reality show I watched was yours, and
that was a game show.
it's over.
Yeah. Well, also getting back to that special shout out, this week they announced the candidates for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and one Mr. Peter Frampton has been made known that he will be inducted this year to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, along with Foreigner, Dave Matthews, Cher, Tribe Called Quest, and Mary J. Blige.
Now, I know it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I have to ask, Mary J. Blige and a Tribe Called Quest?
Basically been expanding because they know, look, we've gone through X amount of rock and roll, and now we got to hit every other genre.
So why not change the name of it and call it the Music Hall of Fame?
Exactly. I mean, they have the songwriters.
Yeah.
Exactly, but
Because I think Mike and I had the exact same confusion when you said a
When
Tribe Called Quest, and
I saw the list and I was like, yes, why?
I'm confused. Yeah. All right, well, at least that makes a little more sense that they've run through too many artists.
And yet they have artists that they won't touch.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know what? I think every Hall of Fame has people they don't want to touch because problematic people or things they don't want to, or they don't get along with them.
Not even problematic. How long did it take for Kiss to get in?
Yeah.
How long did it take for Van Halen to get in?
Well, I know they said it's got to be, what is it? You have to be together
25 years since your first #1 album.
Which I saw a commercial for, like, what is it? I think it's like Aerosmith's last tour.
Yeah. They just started it back up.
Yeah.
So Steven Tyler was sick.
Yeah, he was sick, or he was transitioning to look like everyone's favorite aunt.
Yeah, that too.
I was sick.
Who
who feel bad for is the people in Toronto for Kiss's last go around. They canceled like 2 or 3 shows in Toronto. And they were like, no, sorry guys, here's your money back. We're not going to give you a show. This is the last show.
At least they went and they gave the money back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have a lot of pissed off fans.
They gave the money back.
Yeah.
I just threw
Fingers
it in there.
crossed,
A lot of people are saying that Kiss will do another Vegas run.
This ain't no more tours.
Well, that's the thing. If any bands have had, like, this is our final tour.
Kiss, at least 4.
Kiss is 4. The Eagles are now going on their
Like,
3rd.
I can understand, like, Peter Frampton, like, him winding down.
Well, basically, he's sick.
Yeah, exactly.
What's wrong with him?
He has something called the IBM. And even anybody's interested, you can give into his John Hopkins research is doing to try to find a cure for IBM because it's part of the bones. Basically, when I seen him on stage with his son Julian is standing up. When he opens the Sphere, Peter is sitting.
Yeah.
Usually you're seeing Peter standing.
Yeah, he wasn't moving.
Everything.
Like what's his name? Phil Collins has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil Collins, Huey Lewis is basically
Deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice that the Heart of Rock and Roll got to come out on Broadway before all this.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, so I mean, it's what it is, But I mean, concerts come and go, but like when the artists are getting sick or they're getting too old, you can understand when the tours stop.
Yeah.
Although when a residency kicks in, there's
something else going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand Kiss can't do just a North America tour. They are too big. So when Kiss goes on tour, it's going to be like a 4 or 5 year thing because they're playing everywhere but except Antarctica.
Pretty much.
They actually have done. They've done that before, too. They played for like 4 penguins on an ice cube. But
I could believe it. And the polar bear said, "Hey, fuck you."
But
wasn't that what started off Happy Feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what happened? I mean, for a band like Kiss saying, "Okay, we're done touring," fine. They do a Vegas residency. It's not touring.
Yeah.
No.
And plus, I mean, if this is really, if you believe them, and this is really the end, like you're saying, okay, which is fine because they're all in their 70s and they don't look it, but they're all in their early to mid 70s. And okay, dude, you've been rocking out for over 50 years.
Yeah.
You deserve to put your feet up.
So, Mike, what was your favorite concert you've gone to?
I don't know. There's a few.
Like, what's the one big standout?
Just 2. I've seen AC/DC live, which is an awesome show.
Okay.
I saw them. When did I see them? I saw them, I think, at the Garden.
All right.
Garden or the Meadowlands, one of those 2.
Okay.
Now this is back in the day, not when who was it? Axl Rose.
No. This was Brian Johnson, Malcolm, Angus, and I think Phil Slade, Cliff.
Okay. And what's the other?
Van Halen.
All right. Jimmy, what about you?
I have 2 also. One was Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire PNC. I won tickets for 101.
Yep.
And also, it was the first time we went to Barclays, and I saw they have the CBS FM's holiday show. I got to see, and I'm glad I got to see Jimmy Buffett, Sarah McLachlan, James Taylor. And it was nice to see Jimmy Buffett comes out in his Santa hat. Comes out, it says naughty first, then it says nice. They put on a great show. All 5 of those bands there and artists put an amazing show out.
Okay.
I saw Jimmy at Camden.
Yep.
1 year.
See, now I haven't done like a lot of concerts, so I had done 2 in 1 year, but the one that I will say stood out was one you and I went to, Steel Panther.
Nice.
Yeah.
They I mean,
And that was
My friend
that was
Reed just
before
went to see
COVID.
that was, you know what? all joking aside, yes, they're quote unquote a comedy band because if you listen to their songs, but again, if you listen to their songs from a music standpoint, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This, they all can go.
Last year, they went on America's Got Talent just to relaunch themselves to the American public, say, hi, we're out here.
Well, not only that, it was also because they had to reintroduce because now they had a new bass player. So
That's good.
Which is cool because, you know, I think Spider fits in a little bit more
than Lexi.
It had absolutely nothing to do with the quality of playing. Both of them are phenomenal bass players. But if you looked at Lexi when he was on stage as the Lexi character, you know, you could tell he had like a ton more makeup on than everybody else. He was, whenever they're not playing, he's always like primping his hair and with the lip gloss and everything.
Ton of Botox.
Yeah, ton of Botox. But then when Spider's out, he looks like he fits in with everybody else.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they're supposed to be like 80s glam rock band.
rock.
But he just kind of fits in with everybody else. I always thought, again, nothing taking away from his playing ability, I always thought Lexi kind of like stood out a little bit. Like, okay, these guys are like 80s Motley Crue, and Lexi is like more like Poison. The look.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now everybody's kind of like
A similar venue.
a similar look. Like, okay, now everybody's kind of like more
On the same page?
Appetite for Destruction, Guns N'
Okay.
Roses.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
The same.
I know they were just out in the Midwest around there, Iowa, Nebraska, around there, because a friend of mine, she had the pleasure of getting on stage with them. Oh, that's Rita
17
for you.
girls?
Yep.
Of course.
That was
When they literally bring up 17 girls on the
the
stage.
other one, girl from Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Michael Starr,
Yeah.
you motherfucker.
Yeah, so if anybody out there would like to join in on the conversation and let us know what your favorite concert has been, please email us at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's dragoonslairpodcast, all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. Now, we've got conventions coming up because the weather's getting nicer. I know Mike's trying to go to a few. I know Jimmy's trying. I've got a few that I'm like trying to get to. So, but before we do any kind of talk on conventions, because that'll be for another episode, because, you know, let the new season really start rolling in. I want to talk about, like I said, some news stuff that came out because we did have, like I said, we got the trailer that dropped for Wolverine and Deadpool. Now, I saw an article about The Witcher being canceled, which, in all honesty, with no Henry Cavill, I'm kind of okay with. Mostly because, well, frankly, let's just be honest here. Changing up the main Witcher, I know there are other Witchers in the universe.
Is it now? I don't know about The Witcher. Is it like a guild, like a tribe? Are they the different Witchers? Can they tell different stories?
They could, but the main story they were telling was following Geralt.
Okay, so but there are other Witchers besides. Did they finish Geralt's story?
No.
Okay.
It was left off where it was like they went through, and it's like, all right, we'll see each other again, and now it's like, okay, well, we knew it was supposed to be a Hemsworth. So if the new season
it's supposed to be Liam.
Yeah. So if it's canceled, I'm not going to be too upset about it because, frankly, I wanted more of what Henry Cavill was giving. And I like when the actor is a fan of the property and they're actually contributing
Devoted
to the
property.
Like they want to make sure that it's the best that it can be, not just, oh, I'm going to do something because, okay, I'm getting a paycheck for. You can tell when they're phoning it in for a paycheck versus when they're actually doing it because they enjoy it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's when you look back, like when we watched the Knights of Badassdom, it looked like everyone was having fun doing it.
Yeah.
It didn't look like anyone was doing that just for the paycheck.
Because they weren't getting no.
It didn't look like they got paid that much for it. No. So, you know, it's one of those things where we kind of sit there and we can watch a whole bunch of stuff.
That's like another Knights of Badassdom is like blackballed. The is it Dewey Cox? It's about a guy, a professional paintballer, and it has Keep talking.
No, I honestly.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
But no, so I mean, like The Witcher, if it's canceled, I think that's a hit for Netflix, but I think it might actually be a good thing because we know that Henry Cavill's going off to do Warhammer 40K, at which that hit some controversy because they changed up their backstory for one of the groups in there, and they added women to it, which people are like flipping out, like, oh, it's woke. It's a bunch of grown men playing war with little statues that you are painting.
Yeah.
And it is an expensive fucking hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
So-
Ministry of
Gentlemanly
Ungentlemanly Warfare
Warfare.
is out in the
I wanna
theaters
see
and it's
that.
doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So the film I was trying to say before was Blackballed, the Bobby Dukes story. It's
Okay.
about Rob Corduroy plays Bobby Dukes, who was a professional paintball player, who got caught during a tournament wiping off the paint off of his leg.
How do you do that?
So he gets caught, and because he's supposed to be like the world's best, and it's like a big downfall for him now. So
Yeah.
he's been blackballed, and now he has to put a team back together to try to reclaim his glory. And Rob Riggle is in it. Oh
God.
That's got to be good then.
This movie is hysterical.
I got to find this.
It has Rob Corduroy,
Black Bolt.
Go ahead, put
Rob
it on your
Riggle.
list, Jimmy.
Ed Helms.
Oh, that is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean those are like the only like real big names
Yeah.
that you would know from it. But just watching this, you're like, the hell am I watching, and why am I still watching it, and why am I enjoying it?
Yeah.
It is just that good.
Now, in other news, though, we did get, like, just released on Amazon Prime, I was telling you guys before, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2 is now available to rent on Amazon Prime. So it's digitally available if anybody wants to watch that one.
Chapter 1 is on Max right now.
Yeah,
Just
finally came out on Max.
Yep.
Which Max just dropped Velma season 2. Which
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know that until now.
I told you. Yeah.
thank
Listen,
you.
the terribleness of season 1. I'm like,
Oh, there it is.
I'm sorry, but now
Mindy Kaling, why?
no. Mike and I, before you even got to the show, Jimmy, we were trashing Warner Brothers Discovery Max for a lot of bad decisions before. And this is another one where I have to bang my head up against the wall and ask, you canceled the Batgirl movie. You canceled Batgirl.
And
you
you're
left
giving
this
her
abomination.
But yet you're going to still do a second season of a Scooby-Doo property that nobody asked for or
It
wanted.
doesn't even have Scooby-Doo in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do a Scooby-Doo.
Without Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. So you're doing Velma. I get it. You made everybody ethnic. I get it. The problem is nobody gave a shit about season 1. You know what? No, you didn't. Even though it's like you're going to put this out, you didn't promote that Tiny Toons got another season that dropped on Max.
I didn't even know that either.
Yeah, so-
and I mean, same thing with Jellystone.
Yeah, but Tiny Toons Tooniversary season 2 did come out on Max. I've been watching it little by little because it's not like the old
not the
ones.
old one.
And it's like the voices are different for them. And ever since making Babs and Buster brother and sister,
That gets rid of that whole thing. No
Yeah.
relation.
yeah, you killed one of the best jokes along with the fact that they went to prom together.
Yeah.
So
Maybe Acme Lou is in fucking West Virginia.
you would think at this point.
Country Road.
Yeah. But no, because I mean, listen, when I was a kid, one of my favorite movies that I rented and watched repeatedly because I ended up buying it was the summer vacation movie that they did for Tiny Toons. It was like Babs and Buster go on their own adventure, but you've got Plucky going on a trip to like a theme park with Hampton and his family. So he's stuck in the car in a road trip with like Hampton's entire family, and he is miserable. Meanwhile, you got Babs and Buster like traveling around like a couple of lunatics, and like they're even going through like the South. Like I mean like ding 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 South.
I hear banjos running.
There was literally a possum playing the banjo. So
That's normal down there. Though.
Yep.
yeah. So it was one of my favorites then. And I mean, now, what is it? But I will say Netflix just dropped the first season of Dead Boy Detectives.
I got to look at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the trailer came out for Bridgerton season 3. So that's going to be starting in May. I know it doesn't seem like it's something, but the hype around it is real. I watched the first season. I'm still in the second season, but the show is actually really good, and it's based off of a book series.
Yeah, I've
although
heard that.
season 1, it is not safe for every audience. The amount of sex that's in there that they do it kind of is on par with Game of Thrones.
Or Spartacus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spartacus.
I'm actually waiting for House of Dragons.
If they weren't fucking, they were fighting.
Yeah, which we've got another House of Dragons, which they dropped those 2 different trailers, which was for the House of Green and the House of Black.
Yeah.
So seeing both of those, for which you can choose which trailer you want to watch on Max, which I was like, okay. So you're even making me choose before the show even starts of which family tree I want that barely forks do I want to root for. So, there's been a lot of stuff that's come out. There's stuff that's coming out, and at least we got things that are good, that are on the lookout for. And of course, we got May 4th around the corner. So May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day is coming pretty soon. And that means we're going to be getting the new Star Wars series, Acolyte.
Yes.
Which is supposed to take place, I think, 1,000 years or 100 years before the Old Republic or the New Republic, whatever they want to call it.
So now, I can see that being very good, but I can see it getting a lot of shit because
Star Wars fans are
stupid.
toxic.
Yes, they're stupid. They're like, oh no, I want Luke Skywalker, I want Darth Vader, I want this, I want that, and then
chill.
You're like,
the
no,
frick out.
Everything it expanded beyond Luke and Vader. And
now I saw a thing from the person that's the showrunner for this one, and they were saying like because they're such a fan, it's like, when are you going to get the opportunity to do something like this again? So they want to put little Easter eggs and things from the expanded universe, from the prequel trilogy, from the original trilogy, from the Disney sequel trilogy, like all these little Easter eggs and things.
How can you do the sequel trilogy if it takes place 1,000 years before the New Republic?
That'll be an interesting thing, but even touching on the expanded universe. Because it's always fun to see like this stuff. I mean, I've been waiting and wanting them to do a Knights of the Old Republic series.
Wasn't it on tap to be done and then they changed their mind?
Yeah, it's one of those things where they talk about it and then it gets pushed back. And I can understand some of the limitations and everything, but at this point, it's like Knights of the Old Republic was one of the biggest game that they had done that really got people involved. And I mean, it's been on almost every platform because it originally came out on the original Xbox, which made it over to PC, made its way over to Android, so you can play it off your cell phone even. And there's a bundle collection for the Switch. They were supposed to be doing for the PS5 a remastered version of 1 and 2. Because unfortunately they were supposed to get a third one, but Lucas decided he wanted to roll everything together and have everybody focus on doing the episode 3 game, which was terrible. So it's one of those things where it's like, everything Star Wars is subjective.
Yeah.
And the problem is that we're getting a bunch of people that the fans themselves are the actual problem. Because instead of just accepting that this is the parts I like, this is the parts I don't like, they want to fight over it and argue and piss each other off.
And get themselves kicked off soundboards.
You know,
Numerous times.
I mean, granted,
Yeah.
I'm a Star Wars fan and didn't read the books.
yeah.
I'm going off the movies. Yes, I like Darth Vader. Yes, I was excited when episode 3 came out, finally seeing how Vader became Vader.
Yeah.
And when he showed up in the Obi-Wan, I wanted more Vader than Obi-Wan. But on the other side, hey, I realize there's more to it than just this. Will I give the Acolyte a shot? Yeah.
And if you'd like to
If
give...
I like it,
yeah.
I like it. If
And
I don't, I change the channel.
And remember, if anyone would like to see the Star Wars fan film that we made years ago, it is on the Blue Dragoon YouTube channel, which I highly recommend when you're watching the episodes of the Dragoon's Lair podcast. Hey, go back. You can check out the Comic Book Jones movie, but you can also find the Star Wars fan film that I made with Mike years ago.
Did we ever give it a name?
I don't remember if we did or not.
I don't even remember if he did.
No, but you weren't involved in that one.
No.
But I did have a couple of other friends that were involved in it, and then we did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah,
for
what it
for
was.
no budget.
For no budget, as
Yeah.
usual. I mean, I came home. You gave me basically two little makeup crayons and said, "Here, go color your entire face."
Yep.
And I couldn't get it off. And I came into the house and my dog almost bit me because he didn't recognize me.
Great.
But I did let you keep the lightsaber that I built.
I still have it, by the
Yes.
way. It's actually sitting on the shelf next to the one that I bought.
Yeah, you bought one, and I built one. I gave you the one I built for that. So it's one of those things where, we are Star Wars fans, and when Star Wars fans are telling other Star Wars fans
to chill the fuck
lighten
out.
the hell up.
Yeah, guys, you have to remember, at the end of the day, it's just a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's a TV show. It's not
Granted,
real.
you want to go to a celebration, go enjoy yourself. Just don't over freaking do it.
you have to remember, not everything out there is for you. We talk about stuff on here that isn't for all of us. I've made Mike sit through a bunch of things that he doesn't like. But Mike is giving it at least a fair chance.
Yeah.
And some of the things he's had to watch, he's liked.
Some I liked, some I didn't.
Yeah. But it's
The nature of the beast.
But he's at least expressed the fact that it wasn't for him. The same way, like, I had to eat crow after getting annoyed with the first episodes of Miss Marvel and then continuing on and then realizing, oh, wait a second, this just isn't for me.
Right.
But then it got so good that I was enjoying it anyway. So it's, and I've apologized for that one. I made a snap judgment, but I also knew I wasn't the target audience for it. But I didn't want to bash it completely, but because it actually did grow on me the more I watched it. Which now we got to talk about our childhood being brought back, because we're going to talk about those last two episodes of X-Men 97.
Yep.
Now, the last two episodes coming off of the attack on Genosha.
Yeah.
I saw the attack on Genosha.
Yeah.
What was the one that was after that?
That was the Storm episode.
I saw the Storm episode. I did not see the one after that. I missed that one.
Okay, well, then we're going to have some spoilers for Mike, but we know Mike doesn't care about spoilers.
They don't bother me.
So just be prepared for the spoilers, folks.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen them already, well, too bad.
Sorry.
We've already now given you the spoiler warning.
The attack on Genosha, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the following episode where we got to see Storm not only getting her powers back, but saving Forge from, what was it?
A demon.
A demon
Yeah,
owl
like
thing.
a shadow owl demon thing, which
Some Native American stuff.
whatever it was creepy as hell.
And it was like, I like the fact that, Forge keeps telling Storm, I'm coming with you, because I won't make it back, blah, 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 blah. When in reality, Forge knows she's claustrophobic, and to get the magic herb or whatever, she has to crawl into like a tight space. And he's like, "Now, do you see why I wanted to go with you?"
Yeah, but their relationship was already strained after she found out that he made the tech that took her
collar.
powers.
Right.
Not just the collar, he made that
He made
tech.
the tech, yeah.
So and now she was, but by the end of it, she had looked like she regained her powers.
And she actually got the. I like how they changed her look from like.
She went from the mohawk back to the full head of hair.
No, wasn't it the other way around?
When she was flying around, she went back to a full head of hair.
She went from the silver costume to the black costume.
Yep.
And I think when she had the black costume, she was a little more badass than she was in the silver costume.
Yeah. I just like the fact that they changed the mohawk, because
I like when they gave her the mohawk.
The mohawk looked cool originally, but it felt weird because she didn't have it in the original series.
No.
No, not in
No.
the original series. In the comic book, she had the mohawk.
Yes.
Yeah, at a certain point for a while she had it.
Yeah.
Which, I get it. It was an aesthetic look, but at the same time it was a little weird.
It was weird, but I liked it because I'm like, okay, now they're making reference to the comic books.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's how she looks in the comic. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah. Now the new episode, Jimmy, what did you think though? Just the
Besides
initial.
dark,
Yeah.
demonic.
What is
Holy
it? What
shit.
happens in it? Tell me.
Okay, so Rogue literally goes rogue.
Yep.
Okay.
She snaps. They are
Well, because she's still dealing with the fallout from Genosha.
exactly, but not just dealing with the fallout from Genosha. They start with a funeral for Gambit.
Yeah.
And Rogue is not there.
I think Gambit will come back because you have Cable and
Listen,
he's a time traveler.
It's comics. People come back, but
Yeah.
they were having the funeral ceremony. It was emotional. You had Nightcrawler doing like the
As the
eulogy.
priest.
He was the priest. He's like saying everything, and Rogue is not there.
I
You had some of his family from the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
They were there for the funeral.
I liked how he although he did go out as a badass.
Oh, absolutely.
They gave him a badass ending, if that's truly the ending, which I don't believe.
But he went out like a hero. Mm-hmm. But now they have this, and there were 2 cameos that we get from Rogue going ape shit.
The first one.
She is destroying in like the desert an entire military base, and you find out that it was designed to hold the Hulk.
Oh boy.
And
It's
who's-
Thunderbolt Ross is there. All his troops are like, she's destroying everything up above. And he's like, remember, this place was designed to hold the Hulk.
Yeah, she didn't
Yeah,
give a shit.
She broke in.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she comes in and she's like, my daddy always said that it was easier to break into prison than break out. And she wrecked the place. Then she,
Just because it was there?
she was looking for Gyrick?
Yeah.
She was looking for Henry
No,
P.
she's looking for Trask.
Trask. Trask.
Boulevard Trask.
Yeah. So she's looking for Trask.
And
And
Cyclops and Jean go visit Gyrick.
yeah. And it was one of those moments where it was like he wasn't there. So then she goes and she's still hunting for him. She got a tip on an area where he could have been. And she finds Captain America.
Yeah. And he looks just like he did in 97.
And it
With
was-
that light blue costume?
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh.
But he was voiced by
Chris Evans.
no.
No.
It was actually Josh Keaton,
Yeah.
the voice of Spectacular Spider-Man.
Okay.
So he was doing the voice for Captain America, and he's like, "Listen, my team, we're waiting for the okay to go in to get this guy." And she's like, we got to play by the rules on this one. So he can't go with her and literally going rogue because it's like if they stand up for the mutants without any like paperwork, any like orders, it's going to look bad. Mm-hmm. So she's like, so you're not going to go with me. She flies up into the air with his shield and chucks it.
About 10,000 feet.
Yeah. And she's like, well, you won't be needing this for a while then. And she takes off. She eventually, like, the other guys catch up to her. And, like, she sees Nightcrawler. She starts breaking down.
Because that's her brother.
Yeah, it's like she even says, I got to be, like, the worst stepsister.
Yeah.
But she rejoins the group. They go and they get a message from, what was it, Trask?
Yeah.
So they get a message and they go and it's like they find the secret room at this place because he knocked everybody out. They're going inside, and while they're there, they find technology for Sentinels, like humanoid-looking Sentinel technology.
Like the Terminators.
No,
No.
like even more beyond.
Yeah.
It's like a human hybrid with the Sentinels. And she basically goes and it's like he's ready to commit suicide. And it's like, I didn't want my stuff has been corrupted too much. He didn't want to be there for a complete genocide. Goes to jump. She's asking him for help. He's like, he can't. She's like, yeah, well, she's not in a forgiving mood. She drops him off the building.
Wow.
Yep.
Like,
You heard the splat.
Rogue goes full on, like Rogue. And it's
Basically,
like,
I like the code. It's like, make sure you push in for the diet soda. Nobody drinks the diet soda.
it's like it's never out of diet soda. So broken soda machine. They hit the diet soda, and then the wall opens to the secret passageway for like, and they
find trash.
Yeah, to find this guy, and it's like he's become a humanoid sentinel. Like he's trying to kill them.
Right.
And they can't go light on him. They have to go all out. Like,
and
Cyclops
them.
even goes full on with, like, he lets the optic blast just go. And
he still beats him.
Yeah, and they bump into Cable. So Cable comes in, and it's like he realizes that that's his son, because Jean has like a psychic flash from Madeline, and it's like he's your son, and it's like, yeah, we save on the reunion till later, Dad.
Yeah.
Like Cable basically like puts Cyclops in check, and then you find out that it's like Sinister's not the big bad.
No.
Who is?
A man who plays the song Purple People Eater just before he goes to visit his hostage.
They didn't say who he is.
I know his name.
No, I had to look it up. The guy is like
Bastion.
Yeah. He's Bastion is a combination of Master Mold and that futuristic Sentinel.
Nimrod.
Yep.
Yep.
So he's like a humanoid combination of the two.
Basically, Nimrod created him.
Yeah. And he's playing Purple People Eater, and he's shaving a live Magneto.
Yeah.
So Magneto
With
made
the
it out.
collar on.
And his powers are completely restrained, and he is shaving him.
Well, in the comic book,
With a straight edge razor. You almost think he's going to slit his throat.
right. Well, in the comics, Beast finally goes bad, and he just fucks everybody up.
Yeah. Well, this Beast was kind of like, because they were helping out on Genosha, look for the Recovery Act group, and the reporter that was doing the story, like, you could tell she kind of cares about Beast,
Right.
and like there's a little bit of a flirtation, and it's like, because it's like she makes a comment where Beast just kind of takes it a little too hard and like walks away.
And this even gets worse on Genosha's. They find they feel a psychic power, and they're thinking, oh, it's Madeline. It wasn't Madeline. It was the White Queen.
So Emma Frost, they didn't know that she could turn into a diamond shape, form. So her diamond form saved her.
Yeah.
Good.
So she like evolved with the diamond form.
But you got, like I said, this was like the, what is the name of their group again? With her and
The Hellfire Club?
the Hellfire Club, the Hellfire Gala, the second annual Hellfire Gala, where all hell breaks loose. Because the first one was just who's coming in
Well, with
fashion
the new Hellfire Club gala that they just had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little weird considering Emma Frost was supposedly marrying Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
So that's a comics thing, but we're talking X-Men 97 and
I think it's good that's on like Disney Plus. You can get away with a little bit more having it on a paid streaming service than you can on regular TV.
Well, not only that, but this is capitalizing on the fact that it stepped right in with the nostalgia factor. And now it's like when we got to the attack on Genosha, it really was like, now it's time to age everything up.
Yeah.
We're taking it more seriously. Because you figure we already saw Charles Xavier in outer space with the Shi'ar.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay. But in the meantime, while Rogue is going off, Jubilee actually does go off with Sunspot to tell his parents that he's a mutant.
And they
And
tell him
the mother already knew. Because it's like, yeah, like I'm going to like so many houses caught on fire
Right.
while you were a kid. We decided we'd let you tell us in your own time. And now it's more a matter of how are we going to cover this up? Because our shareholders don't like change.
Right.
And they don't like mutants.
Yeah.
They're anti-mutant.
So even though it's like one of your owner's kids is a mutant, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, keep it on the wraps, kid.
Yeah, that's what it is, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're hitting a lot of like major themes. So I got to say, like, they've gone dark and they've done it in such a way that it's actually watchable. And I have to say, normally I like when they dump everything for like a full binge. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of okay with certain things being once a week.
Yeah.
You know, I want more when The Boys comes out and when like Invincible comes out. I didn't understand why they dropped all of Fallout in one shot.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the month, at the end of April, the Knuckles show comes out on Paramount. Mm-hmm. Not Paramount, on
No,
Peacock.
right, Paramount
Are you sure? I thought it was on Peacock.
No.
All right.
Paramount.
Well, either way, when the Knuckles show comes out, you know, I'm pretty sure that's going to get dumped in one foul swoop. Mm-hmm. You know, Netflix is known for dumping everything in one shot, but the funny thing is Bridgerton is going to get dumped in one shot, but they're breaking it into two parts. The same way they did with Stranger Things for the last season that we got.
Mm-hmm.
You
and
know,
then they're pushing Stranger Things back until next year.
of course.
But I
know
think
they were filming in late September.
Well, you know what? COVID stopped everything.
Yeah.
The strikes stopped everything.
I think
it.
right now, I mean, them pushing it back is a mistake because by time Stranger Things, no one gives a shit anymore.
You know what though? These kids are already
They're older. No one gives a shit.
But you know what? At least they're older at this point, so now they don't have to follow as many guidelines for them being little kids.
Yeah, and
to
again,
film.
the fact that what's his name, Noah Shipley, from Stranger Things.
yeah, no ship.
Yeah.
He's getting shit. Who cares? Leave him alone. Who gives a fuck?
Listen, the problem is like people are giving people shit for acting roles when it's like seriously, who the fuck cares? Mm-hmm. It's like, and that's one of the things like Star Wars fans, they went after people from the new trilogy, and it's like you chased people off the internet because you're upset that the character didn't meet what you wanted it to be.
Right.
It wasn't who you expected.
It's not the actor's fault.
It's the actors take a job. You have a headcanon in your head of what you want to see happen. Mm-hmm. We all do. Guess what? You're not the creator of it. If you want to see something like that, there's a thing online called fan fiction. Write it. Oh, wait, you're probably not that good of a writer, so you don't want to write it. You can't figure it out. Make an audio version of it. Make your own little audiobook story of whatever your fan fiction is, because express it your own way. But stop shitting on when other people create something.
Exactly.
Because you don't have to like it. If you don't like it, then just say you don't like it. Mm-hmm. But when you start going after the actors and like the creators, you make them not want to make things. And then what are you going to do? You're going to rely.
They're not making them anymore.
Yeah.
I like Rose in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Was she my favorite character? No. Do I take it out on the actress? No. She signed a contract to play this character. Yeah. And it's like, this is how the director wants you to do it.
But did I care that she was there one way or another?
No.
Did her being there make or break the entire movie?
No.
So why are you attacking people when there's no reason to? That's the thing. It's, everybody's there to do a job, and that job is to entertain. The same way.
Dance for me, monkey.
Yeah, pretty much. If you don't like us, you don't have to listen to us. But if you want to rage listen to us and comment and everything, we're more than willing to sit there and listen to it and read what you have to say because it's funny to us.
Yeah.
We're not taking anything because we're just we're like three literal stooges here. So, we don't care. You're not making or breaking us. And, it's something I got to say, like my mom always said. Do they pay your bills? Then what do their opinions matter?
Exactly.
If you're not paying my bills, then I don't care what you have to say. You have an opinion, but remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
They all stink.
That too.
Some people have decent opinions, but that don't stink. And then others, it's like, wow, you really let that one sneak out,
What's your
huh?
opinion? And we might want to know.
Yeah, if you'd like to share your opinion with us, you can send us an email at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. That's dragoonslairpodcast, all one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. Now, we're going to wrap everything up. So, Mike, you have any plans that anybody should know about?
Not really. I'm kind of taking a break from the stage for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple of projects in the works coming up. Gonna shoot.
Well, don't give them away exactly what they are, but you know,
gonna shoot 2 fan-made trailers based on a Nintendo video game.
And where will they be able to find those when they come out and your other stuff?
They can find them on Hamster Pellet Productions at Facebook and on Instagram, and you can find us on Mike Chiavo at Facebook. You could find it there when they finally do drop. We're shooting them in June, and they should be ready end of June, beginning of July, depending on how busy I get with school and everything else.
Yep. So, and everybody can get in touch with you and us how?
You can hit us up at the Dragoon's Lair Podcast on Instagram and the Dragoon's Lair Podcast at gmail.com. Remember, that's spelled with 2 O's. That's Dragoon's Lair Podcast, all one word, at gmail.com.
Now, Jimmy, where can they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me on my Facebook, which is James Haynes IV. Instagram and Threads at JamesH_4. Snapchat James SI0925. All right, and nothing too much going on. Just got next couple of months we have the Memorial Day Parade. Please thank a veteran. Put a flag on any veterans' graves that you know of, and God bless America.
Wow. Okay, so with that one being said, you can find me, the Blue Dragoon himself, at Blue Dragoon 13 on TikTok while it's still around, and I'm pretty sure it's still going to be sticking around because there's going to be legal lawsuits and stuff. But please feel free. This is going to be the only thing I have to say about this. Vote out everyone who voted for the TikTok ban. I get it. You wanted to get that aid package through, but you basically are trying to silence an entire group of people who are making their business online and have found communities that they feel a connection with through TikTok. And you're not hurting yourselves unless you vote them out. Because if they get voted out, then they understand one very important thing. Your job is at risk. Maybe you should actually listen to the people. Other than that, you can get in touch with me, Blue Dragoon 13, on Instagram, on my YouTube channel, Blue Dragoon 13. You can find me on Twitch, which has the link to the Discord page, which you can join the community there. I highly encourage everybody to sign up there, because if we get enough influx there, we can do a bunch of stuff there over time. So make sure you join the Discord group and watch our stuff on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and on YouTube. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone for coming in and tuning in with us. I want to thank Mike for being here. I want to thank Jimmy for being here.
Thank you.
I want to thank each and every one of you out there for listening and bringing this show to the masses. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on whatever platform. Leave us reviews because it helps people find us.
Leave us suggestions. Like someone did for this earlier.
Exactly. So make sure you send us an email, leave us a comment, and on the Spotify page, answer the polls. And there's a poll there, not just a poll, but you can also leave us comments. And I always take a look at those, and I appreciate them. I make sure everyone is published as long as it's not offensive, which haven't had one inoffensive one yet. But please, if you're going to send an offensive one, I want to read it. I want to see what you're going to say. So other than that, thank you all for tuning in. And remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now get out.